Hello, this message is for the men today. Men, God is calling you home. He's calling you back to Him. He's calling you to get in line, to serve, and to be served. All right, so this comes from a few dreams that I've had. And so I'm just going to quickly share the dream. So a few months ago, I had this one dream where it's as if I were in a church, like one of those old school, small Baptist churches. And there were men there, and someone stood at the pulpit and called like volunteers. They were like, can anyone help? Can anybody come? And all the men looked around at each other like they were looking at each other like, no, I'm not gonna go. You going? No, I'm not going either. And so what I realized was that they were all waiting for one person to get in line. And so once one man said, I'll do it, and he came and got in line, all the other men ran to get in line behind him. So God is waiting for you to get in line. He's calling you, come on, be served, come on to serve in His kingdom. And then once you get in line, you're going to impact everybody around you. You're going to influence people around you to get back into alignment with God too. All right. So that was the first dream. Then I had another dream where I was in my home, and it seemed like it was a birthday party going on. Now, in real life, I've never seen these people before ever in my life. But in the dream, I knew these people. These were close friends, close family members. And I saw this guy walk by, and he had on white. And so I said, I think he's an angel. And so in my dream, I'm like, is he an angel? And so he walked past me to go to the kitchen. And then as he walked back, I looked and thought I think he's an angel. And then from under his jacket, he reached back and grabbed my hand. And when he grabbed my hand, I was like, I knew you were an angel. And so he's like bringing me with him. And I was like, wait, I don't want to go by myself. Somebody come with me. And so I reached back and grabbed somebody else's hand, who grabbed someone else's hand. And I mean, it was a long chain. It had to be like 15, 20 people from me reaching back and grabbing somebody's hand, and they grabbed somebody else's. All right. So we go up the stairs, elevated. All right. And I'm walking up the stairs, and his jacket falls off. So it's as if he had the jacket, like, you know how they have it like sitting like this, but your arms are not in it. So his jacket kind of comes off. And when it does that, I can see his wings. So I saw his angel wings wrapped, like they were wrapped. So I could tell like he was undercover, right? So we go up the stairs, and we get to the front room of this house, and there are angels already sitting there waiting. They're sitting in the windows waiting. And I mean, there were 2 windows in the room. And so there were 6 angels at one window, 6 angels at another window. And they were looking out the window as if they were keeping watch. And so when we all came up the stairs, they looked, and we knew, it's like we knew and understood, like we came to fly, like we wanted to see how this works. Like, can we fly? How's this gonna go? And so I remember they said, yeah, everybody just, some come to this window, some come to that window, and we'll help you fly. And so when I stood back, I was like, okay, I'll go to this side, the left side. And as I go to the left side, the men that were standing there were women at the party too, but the men ran up. They were rushing up to the window to get their turn. And so I felt like that was prophetic. Like, the men are coming back. The men are getting in line. They're getting in alignment with God to do the work. Look how beautiful. Oh my goodness, look. Oh, thank you, Lord. Look at this. Out of nowhere. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm sorry. So yes, so the men were rushing to get to the window. It's like they were hungry for it. They were excited to do this. And so that was a second dream where it was super prophetic. And It's that the men are coming back. They're getting back into place. They're getting back into the church. And men, we need you. We need you to get back into your leadership roles. We need you to become the heads of our homes again, so that you can be the heads of our family, so that you can continue to build us. All right. So then there was a third dream. And this dream, I knew was completely different. All right. So I'm going to skip over a few parts because I am going to go into detail with this dream in another video. But with this dream, the enemy was here and he was coming through to see who he could devour. And I remember grabbing my son's hand and we run up these stairs into this room. Now, this room looked like it was a bedroom, but there were two big beds in it, they had to be queen or king size bed. So as we go into the room, I tell my son, go hide. Okay, go hide, go get under the bed. And so I saw this guy that I grew up with from my hometown. And I told him, he had actually come in too, and I was standing at this big door. And I had put up this like a foldable, like those little room dividers, but they're the foldable ones. So I put this in front of the door and I stood at the door and I was looking out. And I remember looking back and I saw him lying on the floor. And I said his name. I'm not going to say his name, but I'll say his initials. I said, JH, get up. And I said, stand over here. And so I was like, get on your post. And so I looked for a weapon. And I gave him a weapon. I said, if anything comes through this door, you take it out, basically. And so I grabbed my weapon too. And so when I woke up from the dream, I realized that God was saying, get on your post. Men, you need to get on your post. I'm sorry, they're mowing in the background. It's probably going to get loud and crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go quick. But men, we need you to get on your post. Okay, no more lying down, no more thinking that someone else will take care of it, or when I get older, I'll come back to God. Like, no, this was a younger man. These are young men that are coming back. These are men in their 20s, their 30s, and their 40s. They're coming back home. They're coming back into alignment with God. Why is this important? Men, your kingdom spouses, okay, your wives are waiting for you. And not just the wives that, she fine, she this, she that, whatever. I'm talking about your God-ordained spouse. She's waiting for you. So we can't move until you get into position. We can't move until you get into alignment, because God's going to bring us right alongside each other and show us, like, this is who I have for you. For husbands and wives, this is who I have for you. This is what you're going to do for my kingdom. And so that's why it's super important, men, to go ahead, get on your post. All right. We need you to be the gatekeepers, because that's what that also represented. We need you to be the watchman. We need you to be praying over us. Even if you haven't met your God-ordained spouse yet, husbands, you should be praying for her. Pray for her like you know her. All right. Cover her. Ask God's protection. Ask that God continue to keep her mentally. And the same thing for wives. If you have not met your God-ordained husband yet, you should be praying for him. Pray the same thing. So in our waiting, we should be praying for each other. Okay. If you're already married, wonderful. I'm glad that you were able to find the person that God chose for you. Continue to pray over them. Because a lot of times, even in unions, you're still going through things singly, like as one person, and you may not feel like you know how to share. Like, what is this I'm feeling? Or you may feel like, oh, it's fine, I'll get through it. You need to be praying for your spouses. If you're with them, pray for them. If you haven't found them yet, pray for them. So the bottom line is pray for them. All right. So that's it that I have for today. Men, you're being called back home. You're being drawn back closer to God. Do not resist. Do not resist. All right. It may prolong the blessing. It may prolong what he has for you. Get in alignment, because your wives in waiting, we're waiting. All right. And then for wives as well, get in place. because they're coming. All right. And I'll do that in a separate video too. They are coming. They are on the way, and they are coming to woo us. All right. So until next time, I'll see you then.